Welcome back. Let's dive in. So what is stress?
That's probably a $1 million question that means so many things to so many different people. But the bottom line is, and first and foremost, we know that stress is our body's response to danger. We were all given that spirit. We know that that's instinctual, that we have stress. It's so that if the saber-toothed tiger is after us, we could get away. I mean, that from the beginning of time, we've had that within us as a response to danger. We've all dealt with it. We've all seen it. But really and truly, there are two types of stress, and we want to identify the two because there's one we can help about and one that we have nothing about. So what's the first one?
So stress events is the first kind.
Which are?
Things that we cannot control.
Yeah, and when you're talking about stress events, I get to thinking about all the things that happen to us throughout life that we have zero, no control over whatsoever. I mean, it's somebody passing away, it's sickness, it's
tornado, a flood, a fire.
Right. I mean, those are things that we have zero control over, but they're going to happen. It's part of life.
And how do we handle them when they happen?
Well, okay, and along those lines, I feel like we're to a point now that we're so stressed out that even though we know we're going to experience stress events in life, even though we know that that's completely natural and it's a part of life, we've become so stressed out that when we have a stress event, it overwhelms us.
Absolutely.
And we can't even have it. And I get to thinking about what happened to us in 2019. I mean, 2019 was a crazy year for us in that in August of the year, I had just finished up a week long of speaking and training. I was ready to come home. Was too tired to drive home that night. So after my last speech on a Saturday night, I went back to the hotel, was going to rest and get up early the next morning and drive on home to her. Katy had just finished up a wedding as a coordinator, and she calls me at the end of the night when she was headed home. We had not been on the phone together 3 minutes. We checked this out later. And all I hear her scream and I hear the airbags go off, and then we got disconnected. And through the Bluetooth, and it was a person who had chose to drink and drive, ran a stop sign, and thank the good Lord up above that she saw that they weren't going to stop. She hit her brakes, which caused her to T-bone them versus them T-boning her. And that was an event we had no control over, but it happened to us, and it happened like while we were on the phone with each other, which throws a whole nother level of stress into the scenario. And it was something we had to get through, and part of that happening is what has led to this and some of the results of this book and this thought about stress-free you is like you're going to have to deal with those things. How do you do that? And then
sometimes back to back you have to deal with them. Not even 6 months after that
like
happened. Matt had a dry weather crack on his finger that turned out to be flesh-eating bacteria and almost cost him his finger. So sometimes you need to manage the manageable stress in your life so that when these stress events do occur, you have the ability to face them without losing it.
Oh, that's exactly right. So one of the things we would like to ask is, what are some stress events that you have incurred in your life? We've all had them, but what are some of the significant ones? Because then the second thing that you're going to experience in life are what we term lifestyle stress. Now, the good thing about these are the ones you have absolutely 100% control over. Stress events, no control. Life events, 100% control over. And that's what we want to talk about. How do you address those things? So as we close out this session, think about what major stress events have you had in your life that have had a huge impact on you, whatever that looks like. And then what are some things that are causing stress right now, don't make too much eye contact at me, that you could actually control? So start thinking about those things, and then we'll come back for the next session.